There's been a lot of talk about Hawaii Island's energy future ever since Parker Ranch's Paniolo Power presentation in Waimea last Thursday. On Friday, we featured the full presentation, and now we have some interesting clips from the public question and answer that followed. Parker Ranch CEO Dutch Kuiper ran the mic back and forth, addressing the Waimea Community Association firsthand.
What do I see as the most difficult step in this battle? You know, it's interesting. I think what's interesting. Do you follow this really closely, the PUC and the state and sort of what's going on? I think the PUC is starting to really realize the need to be more proactive. Is that a good way to put it? Yes, be more proactive, be more activist, be more proactive.
We just passed a controversial resolution, only had one negative vote, which was Senator Rudderman from this island. But to tell, you know, PUC to get off the dime and get moving. Politics is going to be your biggest hurdle. I just want you to know it.
Politics. So that's the answer, actually, is politics. I think what matters is having a world-class plan, okay, and having a community that wants it. I actually think that's the most important thing. And my guess is the utility is not going to be happy about this. Tony, any thoughts on that? Nope. I think it's going to mean a lot of time in Honolulu, you know, chewing on people's ears, and we'll see what comes of it. Yes, sir.
I've got a question. You mentioned Waimea, Kohala. What about Kauai High?
Sorry, Kauai High is included.
Okay, another question from the post. You talk about you would be a little bit more expensive to put in your lines. So you're talking about these new metal poles, or are you guys going underground so that you don't have anything with big winds would affect the people?
So the question was, would we be using overhead lines or underground lines? And I think they're all overhead, but we can look at it. I can ask the team. We've been spending so much time. The generation piece is actually the bigger piece. It's a bigger part of the cost. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the idea. If you go underground, then you have less problems overhead.
Yeah.
No matter whether you have typhoons, whatever.
Make a note of that.
If you overhead, then you would be like Helco. You have blackouts all over.
Make a note of that. Well, look, we're going to keep a working list of things here. Anybody else? Yes.
I have a similar question. Well, I guess I have two questions. What can we do as a community, just the individual people do to help move this forward? And the second question is, what kind of time frame are we talking about where we'll actually see some benefits will actually be put in?
Yep. So the question was, what can the community do to help us, and what's the time frame? I should be clear here that the critical piece, I think this isn't going to be that difficult actually, but the critical piece is to get an operating partner and capital partners that understand that there's going to be a need for advocacy and who are willing to help with developing the compelling advocacy program to work with the legislature, right? There's going to have to be some change in regulations potentially, but potentially not if our partners want to form their own utility. I'm not going to determine that. That's going to be up to the operating partners and capital partners that hopefully we can attract. Realistic time frame? Give me 6 months and I'll get back to you on answering that. Yeah.
What would the visual impact be of harnessing the wind?
What would be the visual impact of harnessing the wind? We're not thinking right now about windmills around Waimea. There's parts of the ranch that are very, very isolated. So I don't think the view planes should not be obstructed. That's the plan currently. Let me walk back here. We do have somebody else who is behind me. So a couple more questions. Yes, sir.
You
you all know how much it's been raining here, and it just amazes me that there's so much hydropower that I guess the state controls that's flowing through our rivers right into the ocean unharnessed. It's a tremendous waste. Costa Rica powers pretty much half of their whole country with hydropower. So how do we wrestle that hydro resource, which literally is running all around us, which no one uses?
Great question. I don't pretend to have the answer on that one. I'm sorry. Yes.
Dutch, you mentioned Quaihai would be included in this. Could you describe the general area that you're looking at this point? Would Waikiki, for example, be included, or even Hawaii?
Yeah, so the region that we're talking about, at least the mapping that we've done, which could change, right? We could expand that or narrow it, or, you know, right now the way we had the engineers look at it was we started in Waimea, Koala Mountain Road, down to Quaihai, Konepuli, all the way to Hawi and Kapa'au, to the end. So it's all of North Kohala. Yes.
Some great ideas. I'm wondering if you could address the Parker Ranch philosophy or sensitivity to installing windmills in scenic corridors or visually sensitive areas.
The question was about the visually sensitive areas for windmills. We would come back to the community and ask for the community's feedback. And you know, that's not the kind of thing I think we would decide on our own. We'd have to come back to you.
Step. You're the only CEO since I've been here in 1990 has taken this kind of step. The other CEOs have done nothing for the cowboys, the employees, and the community at large. They were too lazy. They have no energy and the foresight like you have to do this.
I didn't pay you to say. I didn't pay you to say that.
No, I mean, it's not going to be easy for you because you're going to have a lot of pressure on you from the investors. But at least you're taking this bold step and you're thinking of the cowboys. You're trying to help our community, lowering electricity, because HELCO is not helping us at all.
That's nice of you to say. I didn't really realize when I took this job that it was going to actually put me in this position potentially. I have to say, I mean, I love Waimea and I love Hawaii. I mean, you know, and I told people when I interviewed for this job, I mean, I told the board, I said, Hawaii to me is like my best friend, my mother, my tutu. They're like, it's part of your family, right? I mean, I tried out for Honolulu Boys Choir twice and didn't make it, you know. I mean, so I want to make it this time. I want to do everything we can to make it, and we have to wrap it up. But thank you for that.
Thank you, Dutch.